Wears high heels, I wear sneakers. Cheers, cheer, captain, and I'm on the bleachers.
Hey, no,
Oh.
stop. We're in the wrong show.
Oh.
This is Katella Talks 2025.
That's embarrassing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Katella Talks. We are so excited to be hosting this annual event in the Royal Crown Theater.
Whether you are here in person or online via live stream, we're so glad you can join us. My name is Monique Garcia.
And I'm Evelyn Aguilar Ramos, and we'll be your host today.
During this event, you will see several student speeches and documentaries on a variety of topics that were selected by our presenters.
As a cornerstone to our vision statement, Katella staff and students recognize the need to raise young voices in an effort to make this world a more informed and inclusive place.
Now let's begin our presentations. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Today, we are hosting Katella Talks. This event showcases students from various grade levels presenting an issue that is affecting their community.
These talks are student-driven, student-led, and student-produced. Students choose topics that are personal and that they are passionate about. They choose which student presentations should be showcased, and they are shooting and editing each presentation in a TED Talk format.
In addition, many students created documentaries about their topic. With film and digital arts being Katella's unique pathway, we encourage our students to find creative alternatives to demonstrating the knowledge.
We hope these projects lead to exciting conversations, curiosity, skepticism, openness, critical thinking, and action.
And now, let's begin.
Please welcome our first presenters from the class of 2025, Ángel Calva, Irwin Guatume, y Maribel Villavicencio.
I don't know how things work in Mexico, he told me. I don't know how things work in Mexico either. I'm from Nicaragua, I replied. Anyways, in Mexico, he continued.
That's a tamal, they told me. No, it is an hallaca, a typical food from my home country, Venezuela. It's not the same as a tamal, I replied. Yes, a tamal, they continue.
I saw her struggle. You stole the $100. They accused her. You're not free, she replied. But no one understood. They took her out and called her from to pickpocket to immigrant. Go back to your country.
If we pride ourselves on diversity, why is validating diversity one of our greatest weaknesses? It is well known that the United States is a melting pot of different cultures. We have people from all around the world, different nationalities, cultures, ethnicities, and we all want to feel accepted. However, we often devalue other cultures by reducing them to simplistic stereotypes. For instance, the assumption that anyone who speaks Spanish must be Mexican overlooks the rich cultural diversity within the Hispanic and Latino communities. This kind of cultural generalization not only erases the individual identities, but also undermines the diversity we claim to celebrate. And this experience is not just limited to Latinos, but also shared by many other cultures in the US. While Mexicans form the largest Hispanic immigrant group in the US, they are far from being the only Spanish-speaking immigrants in the country. According to the Article 11 Facts about Hispanic origin groups in the U.S., posted in August 16, 2023 by Pew Research Center, the U.S. is home to a wide variety of Hispanic populations from several countries, not just Mexico. And even though there are 37 million Mexicans in the country, there is more than a million population of many other countries, such as Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Cuba, Honduras, and more.
While Vietnam history is marked by its resilient struggle for independence, it is a misconception to believe the nation is solely defined by a war. We learn from an article that Vietnam has a rich tapestry of culture, such as world-famous culinary essence and its distinctive coffee culture. These elements showcase a vibrant and dynamic country for exiting any singular narrative of conflict. Imagínate un mundo donde no te sientas avergonzado por tu cultura. La gente apreciaría y respetaría tu cultura, enriqueciéndose de su música, cultura y arte. La gente... en un mundo libre de estereotipos, como por ejemplo que todos los latinoamericanos somos ladrones o tenemos un origen homogéneo.
Hemos dividido las soluciones a este problema en los siguientes puntos. Contrarrestar los estereotipos culturales mediante un sistema educativo que abarque la diversidad cultural. Representaciones culturales diversas en los diferentes medios de comunicación. Conversaciones interculturales basadas en el respeto y la comprensión. Enseñar a otros con información precisa y respetuosa. Fomentar el aprendizaje de nuevos idiomas y promover el multilingüismo para una mejor apreciación cultural. Asimismo, les invito a actuar en contra de los estereotipos culturales, como por ejemplo, al cuestionar nuestras suposiciones, al interactuar con diversas culturas, al educarnos a nosotros mismos y a los demás. Juntos podemos crear una comunidad más inclusiva que realmente celebre nuestras diferencias. Con cada paso que damos hacia la comprensión, nos conduce a un mundo mucho más armonioso y vibrante. Al no reconocer y apreciar las diferentes contribuciones culturales de cada país, corremos el riesgo de crear una sociedad donde las personas se sientan presionadas a conformarse en lugar de expresar su autenticidad. ¿Cuántas veces no hemos visto que Hollywood retrata a los latinos como narcotraficantes o como empleados domésticos? Es momento de exigir nuevas narrativas, como por ejemplo, que un ingeniero salvadoreño diseñe un puente para Nueva York, o un médico guatemalteco lidere la investigación contra el cáncer, o por qué no, un niño puertorriqueño sea el protagonista de una historia fantástica, sin que su acento sea el chiste fácil. La representación no es un favor, es un espejo de quienes podemos llegar a ser como comunidad. Thank you for listening.
The process that led to these talks started with teachers using the project-based learning model as a foundation, which included 4 steps: driving question, research, critical friends protocol, and gallery walks or presentation.
But Katella Talks aren't the only way that students have demonstrated civic action, student voice, and community engagement. Let's take a look at some of the other projects that students have participated in.
Hello, my name is Evelyn Naila Ramos, and I am the Student Ambassador and President of RSVP. RSVP Summits are led by students that facilitate classes to get students' opinions and concerns about our school. I take in that data, organize it, and we meet with admin and see some solutions we can come up with. According to last year's data, our water filtrations have been installed in the math building and soon to come in the cafeteria and in the main gym.
Today's activity is basically about the 5th graders learning about the water cycle. They're going to be playing like a game and they're going to be doing vocabulary about it. They're going to turn into a water droplet and they're going to move throughout the different parts of the water cycle. We had to do this activity during class and we had to figure out how we wanted to do it. We got into our lab stations and we brainstormed on ideas on how to do it, and then we just voted as a class in the end. We ended up choosing a game-like style so the 5th graders could have fun. Something I think that's really cool is just the kids learning about what the water cycle is. They don't really understand it unless they're hands-on. I learned that it's pretty hard just prepping everything and making sure everyone's in the right place. It's stressful, but it's helps me get organized and ready if I want to be a teacher or anything in the future. It'll help me with that.
We are conducting a mock election on the day of the actual United States general election. We're allowing our students to kind of participate in this mock election so they can get the experience of going through the polls. In addition to that, we have student pollsters who are asking our students additional poll questions, and we'll be reaching out to our elected officials, sharing that information, that data that we collect.
You know, I think this is beyond just an activity. I think this is a real life lesson for our students to really learn about the democratic process and how it works. You know, we always talk about student voice and choice here at Katella and within our district, but what better way to demonstrate it than to allow them to be a part of this process?
We really value civic engagement, and not only civic engagement, but civic action. We want our students to be a part of government, to be immersed in it, and to really feel like their voice matters.
Please welcome our next presenter from the class of 2027, Valeria Arroyo.
Imagine a world where a parent's biggest worry is whether their child will remember their lunch, not whether they'll arrive back home from school safe and sound. Picture a classroom where the sound of laughter is never drowned out by the sound of gunfire. Why is this still a dream in America? Why do we allow our schools to become a place of trauma and terror instead of safe havens? Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Valeria Arroyo, and today I'm going to talk to you about school shootings and why this is such an important topic, not only to our community here at Katella High School, but for all communities across our country. The reason that this is such an important issue is because gun violence is now the leading cause of death among children and teenagers in America. SandyHookPromise.org says that 1 out of every 10 deaths due to gun violence involves a child under the age of 19. Not to mention, 12 children die every day due to gun violence in the United States, while another 32 are shot and severely injured. According to an article by CNN, gun violence incidences on school campuses saw a significant decline in 2020 when schools temporarily closed due to the global pandemic we know as COVID-19. However, when schools reopened in 2021, the number of school shootings skyrocketed, with a total of 249 in 2021, 303 in 2022, 38 in 2023, and 39 just last year in 2024. In just 4 years, that comes to a total of 629 school shootings. Stanford researchers found that in just 2 years, over 100,000 American children and teenagers attended a school where a shooting occurred. Additionally, they highlighted that students who experience a school shooting are more likely to end up being on antidepressant medications and have a higher probability of developing a post-traumatic stress disorder due to the trauma that they endured. So, what can we do? One step toward improving our school safety is by installing metal detectors at school entrances to prevent students from sneaking firearms and other dangerous weapons onto campuses. However, the most important change is implementing stricter gun laws. This includes conducting thorough background checks before purchasing a firearm, raising the legal age to purchase a firearm, and enforcing secure storage laws, which ensures firearms are kept away and inaccessible to children and youth. I urge you to take action by signing petitions that push for stronger gun laws to prevent further gun violence on school campuses. Another key action is to prioritize your children's mental health. Many school shooters have been driven to violence due to bullying, humiliation, and severe mental health struggles such as depression and suicidality. So, with that being said, I shouldn't have to practice hiding under my desk. I shouldn't have to wonder if my school could be next. Yet, this is the reality my generation faces every single day. If we don't act now, how many more names will be etched into memorials instead of yearbooks? How many empty chairs at dinner tables will it take before we say enough is enough? Today, I ask you, be the change. Vote for policies that protect your community. Vote for safer schools, stronger mental health support, and responsible gun laws. Again, my name is Valeria Arroyo, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Valeria. This year, students also created short documentaries based on the Katella talk, so please welcome our first documentary, Women, We Are Human Too.
Well, I'm not a poet. I'm just a woman. And as a woman, there's no way for me to make my own money. Not enough to earn a living or to support my family. And if I had my own money, which I don't, that money would belong to my husband the moment we got married. And if we had children, they would be his, not mine. They would be his property. So don't sit there and tell me that marriage isn't an economic proposition, because it is. It may not be for you, but it most certainly is for me.
Late 19th century and early 20th century, we see the women's suffrage movement that really took us to the passing of the 19th Amendment in 1919 that allowed women to vote, though this really only applied to white women. Later on in the 20th century, we see the rise of the women's liberation movement, and during this movement, we get the passing of the Equal Pay Act in 1963, the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and in 1972, we also get Title IX. And we have to remember that all of this was made possible by incredible women like E.W. Wells, Ruth B. Ginsburg, and Dolores Huerta, who not only fought for our rights, but also for the overall progress of society.
I said to you earlier that I don't ever offer advice. unless someone asked me for it, and now I'll tell you why. As a person who started my very public career at the age of 15, it came with a price. And that price was years of unsolicited advice. Being the youngest person in every room for over a decade meant that I was constantly being issued warnings from older members of the music industry, media, interviewers, executives, and this advice often presented itself as thinly veiled warnings. See, I was a teenager at a time when our society was absolutely obsessed with the idea of having perfect young female role models. It felt like every interview I did included slight barbs by the interviewer about me one day running off the rails. And that meant a different thing to every person who said it to me. So I became a young adult while being fed the message that if I didn't make any mistakes, all the children of America would grow up to be perfect angels. However, if I did slip up, the entire earth would fall off its axis, and it would be entirely my fault, and I would go to pop star jail forever and ever. It was all centered around the idea that mistakes equal failure, and ultimately, the loss of any chance at a happy or rewarding life. This has not been my experience.
Thanks to that activism, we now have women in this country who can aspire to have careers that 100 years ago we weren't able to pursue.
I just feel like women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts, and they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it. But I'm so lonely.
But just because women have accomplished so much in the last 105 years doesn't mean that the fight is over. There are still so many stereotypes that women have to overcome. And people need to understand that women don't have to be housewives anymore. Women can aspire to be so much more. They can have careers and they can also have families if they want. We can choose what we want to do in the pursuit of our happiness.
Please welcome our next presenter from the class of 2028, Danny Ibarra.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Danny Ibarra, and I would like to talk about a serious problem immigrants face today in finding safe and affordable housing. Let me share a story. Imagine a family of 5, a hardworking mom and dad, 3 kids living in a small, cramped one-bedroom apartment. This isn't just a story. It's a reality for many immigrants who live in such cramped conditions. It's hard, stressful, and unfair. How would you feel if your family didn't have enough space to live comfortably? The problem is big. Immigrants often live in overcrowded, unsafe, and rundown housing because better options aren't available. This has been going on for years. As rent rises, wages stay low, and discrimination continues. If we don't do anything to fix it, families will keep suffering, poverty will get worse, and harmful stereotypes will continue to grow. So what can you do? Learn about the housing problems in your community, join support groups to help your immigrant families, speak up, and push for fair housing policies, because your voice matters and can help create a change. This issue is important because housing is a basic human right. A stable home helps families and communities grow stronger together. Remember, even if this doesn't affect you, when everybody has access to housing, society becomes better and fairer for all of us. Things will only get worse if we don't do anything to fix it. But together, we can build a future where every family has a safe place to call home. Again, my name is Danny Barra, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Danny. Please welcome our second documentary of the day, The Importance of Hobbies.
It's like a creative release that I feel like everybody needs, whether they know it or not. When I went to college, before I got into playing music, I was like, I know there's gotta be some kind of creative outlet for me. So I took photography class, I liked it. I took painting, this is fun. But nothing really like grabbed and became my passion. When I got into music and played music with some friends for the first time, this is it.
Pass that landing outside the court leads to this swing.
Yo creo que es importante porque aparte de que es algo interesante y por regular la mayoría de los pasatiempos son positivos y te ayudan a distraerte. A veces tienes problemas y te vas a dar cuenta que cuando estás involucrado o involucrada en tu pasatiempo no piensas en tus problemas.
It's all downhill from here.
Harvey, Hayden, Katella Ramos.
Rufus Garcia Hernandez. Shyla.
Nicole Warbeck. My name is Brenda Mabry.
Drawing.
I do color guard, drawing, and guitar.
My hobby is crocheting.
I do color guard. I like filming. Filming is like a really big hobby of mine right now.
My hobby is I love to dance, especially do Zumba. The importance of drawing to me is like just the fact that I'm able to do it. Like I like being able to come home and just like de-stress by like sketching something up or like finishing a project I'm already working on. Performing like any of those, just doing any of those, it just makes me feel like really happy because I feel like I work really hard to have the skills that I currently have now. So it's just like I get this like sense of pride to do what I love to do.
Friends for me is that it helps me stay calm. It helps me not think about the negativity other than just whatever I'm crocheting.
The importance of hobbies is to have good friends. Ooh, good friends in there. Don't play. And also it makes me have time to myself to like learn new things, to do new things. It gives me something to do so I don't rot and like get depressed all day. Like it's like I don't do anything. Like I feel like I also do a lot at home. So whenever I have too much going on, I gotta go somewhere and do something and get a film.
It's really important to just do something that you love, something that you're passionate about, and something that's gonna help you mentally with your mental health and then your physical health. It's always important.
Para relajarse, para descansar, porque es muy importante estar alegres, es bueno para muchas cosas, para explorar diferentes tal vez gustos o intereses.
I have a lot of hobbies. I have sports, football, golf, but a hobby that I like is yard work and landscaping.
I play the electric guitar.
Music.
I like doing white makeup.
Please welcome our last presenters from the class of 2026, Dina and Cynthia Rodriguez.
Did you know special education enrollment has dropped by 3%? Or did you know special education teachers have been teaching double the rate to a general teacher?
This issue is so critical because it aims to improve the outcome of special education enrollment to make it easier for both parents and children to get the proper education. In the United States alone, 7.5 million students ages 3 to 21 have received special education services in the past year. A school in Garden Grove that opened to the public that specializes in special education is overcharging what should be considered free education, despite numerous laws that require all students with disabilities to have access to free, appropriate education. According to recent data, the number of children with special needs is continuing to rise. Schools all across the board should be able to provide the resources needed to properly accommodate all their students.
This Katella talk is very near and dear and important to me because I have a nephew named Jeremiah. He is 4 years old and has a rare genetic disorder called Angelman syndrome. It is an intellectual disability that affects the way his brain communicates with the rest of his body. It also affects his walking and balancing and results of seizures and little to no speech. Jeremiah is currently attending a public elementary school, but is having to pay to be provided with the proper education he needs. This is wrong. Why are parents having to pay for their child to get the proper education they need, and let alone a school that provides expensive special education with little to no access with one-on-one aids? Right now in our district, we have a school that specializes in special education, and that is Hope High School. Hope is currently being relocated to Orangeview Junior High. This relocation gives Hope the opportunity to improve in their sidewalks and also make them an ADA compliant.
A way we would solve this issue is by writing a letter to the Orange County Education Board with signatures of a parent petition. Our goal is to add more schools for children with special needs, as well as adding more courses in schools to provide the resources needed. Therefore, we should encourage you to sign the petition as well as sharing it with parents of children with special needs. Let's not just think about ourselves, but about the people's lives we can make easier. Choose equity over equality. Equity recognizes that each person has different circumstances and allocates the exact resources and opportunities needed to reach an equal outcome. By spreading awareness, we're not only showing that we care, but that we want to make a difference.
The product we are trying to introduce is a funding marketplace here in Catella's parking lot where all proceeds will be donated. We would have several tents of a fundraising and a resource tent. We would also have several more tents with more information about autism, ADHD, and ADD because that is more common in youth today. Severe disabilities such as cerebral palsy, hard of hearing, and blindness, and also uncommon to rare syndromes/disorders. Expanding special education affects more than 7.5 million children in our country today. Again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to our thoughts. My name is Dina Rodriguez.
My name is Cynthia Rodriguez.
I think the 5C that I used the most was creativity. I went into this project not knowing a lot about it, and I feel like I used my creative side.
A lot of communication. I got a lot of my research and my information from asking people, asking them like truly what they thought and how they grew up, and I used that to sort of form my speech.
Critical thinking, because it helped me see deportation in a different perspective. It was me putting myself in people's shoes as well.
Collaboration, just because we're a duo, so during the process we had to split up the work and really be on each other to make sure that work got completed and that we memorized our speech.
La comunicación, me comuniqué tanto con mis compañeros como con maestros para conseguir la información correcta y brindar un cambio positivo a mi comunidad.
Probably collaboration, because I had to work with my partner Dina to find the accurate information.
Para mí una de las 5 Cs más importantes fue la colaboración, ya que gracias a eso pude encontrar y investigar historias sobre algunos de mis compañeros y la discriminación en los países.
Creative thinking, because I had to think about a problem that many people go through. I had to think about a struggle that everybody faces, not only me.
Critical thinking, because I had to research and think outside of the box.
Yo creo que la 5C más importante que usamos fue la comunicación y el trabajo en equipo. Todos, el grupo, hicimos lluvia de ideas, trabajamos juntos, compartimos lo que queríamos hacer y nuestros puntos de vista.
Communication, because I had to communicate a lot with my teachers to see if I had written a good essay, and I had to share my ideas and my thoughts into my essay. In general, I think that this helped me evolve by stepping out of my comfort zone.
Me sentí involucrado al levantar las voces de todos mis compañeros inmigrantes y latinos y de diferentes culturas para expresar cómo nos sentimos y así poder hacer un cambio dentro de nuestra comunidad.
This speech really helped me evolve as a student, and getting the resources from teachers, specifically special education teachers I've been talking to, and they've been really giving me the information I need the most.
By having to research about the issue and having to speak out about it.
Este proceso me ayudó a darme cuenta que hay muchas otras comunidades que le gustaría también ser conocidas tanto en Katella como alrededor de Anaheim.
I think this helped me evolve a lot in my presentation skills. Before this, I wasn't really comfortable going up and presenting in front of a bunch of people, especially with the mic, but I think this has helped me a lot with that.
It sort of evolved my way of thinking. Within my community, it often came down to learning things about how people grew up, how people were raised, what their mindset is. So it kind of evolved my way of thinking, trying to fully grasp what others think.
This project has helped me evolve not only as a person, but as a student, because it has taught me to be dedicated to memorize my speech and to be brave so I can go up to stage and present my speech.
I would say because I had to dig furthermore, and I had to take information from other people.
Este proceso me ayudó a socializar, crear una gran confianza en mí y poder expresar diferentes problemas que he tenido a lo largo del ciclo escolar.
I feel empowered from this project because I know that I can step out of my comfort zone and do something that I wouldn't usually do.
By people telling me that I'm brave for stepping up and presenting my speech in front of everybody.
Este proyecto me ayudó a sentirme empoderada al ayudar a nuevas personas de diferentes culturas a sentirse aceptadas.
I just feel empowered because we have definitely gotten out of our comfort zone, something we're not used to doing.
It's really empowered me. I got to speak about something, and I really feel like just speaking about it can shed some light into it.
Me siento empoderado ya que creo que puedo ayudar a crear una comunidad donde las personas se puedan sentir seguras de hablar español, inglés, chino, tailandés, etc.
I found it really nice that my teacher, Miss George, thought that I had a good enough speech to send me here up to Katella Talks, and it made me feel a lot better as a writer, as a student.
I have the voice of my community, of my culture in my hand. My speech isn't going to be the end of this issue, but hopefully it can be the beginning of the end. Maybe this can be one of the final jump-off points to where this issue can be solved.
We hope you found these presentations to be informative, enlightening, and meaningful.
All our presentations will be available online after today, so be sure to check out Katella High School's YouTube channel and feel free to share with friends and family.
Before we go, we have a few very important people to thank for making this event possible. First, thank you to the amazing teachers who kickstarted these projects in their classroom.
Thank you to Mr. Casarini for helping our students perfect their speeches, and to our student film crew who shot and produced our videos and live stream.
Thank you to Katella High School administration, district officials, and parents for your support.
Lastly, the presentations you saw today are only a fraction of the amazing projects from our student body.
We want to give a huge thank you to all students who prepared a Katella Talks presentation or documentary. We appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you, Monique, for being my co-host today.
And thank you, Evelyn, for being my co-host today.
And finally, thank you to all our presenters for their courage, ideas, and inspiration.
Have a great day, everyone, and thank you for joining us.